Hello there, welcome to State of Business on our television. I am Pamulita Katagampala. Let's start news after a brief look at the top stories for tonight. PMI indices for both manufacturing and services activities have expanded in September 2021, CBSL states. And Czech ambassador pays farewell call on foreign minister. And now news in detail. The Purchasing Managers Index for September 2021 was released by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka recently. The Purchasing Managers Indices for both manufacturing and services activities expanded in September 2021. The services PMI has entered the growth territory in September 2021 following the DRP observed in August 2021. Manufacturing PMI bounced back to 54.3 in September 2021, increased by 9.2 index points compared to August 2021. This increase was mainly attributable to the significant improvements observed in new orders and employment sub-indices. The increase in new orders, particularly in the manufacture of textile and wearing apparel and food and beverage sectors, has contributed considerably to the overall improvement in the PMI. Employment has also increased, especially in the manufacture of textile and wearing apparel sector, where new recruitments resumed with the tapering off of the pandemic situation. However, production and stock of purchases have remained closer to the neutral level, with a marginal contraction during September 2021. Further, the continuous increase in the cost of imported raw materials, particularly due to rising global commodity prices, has also been highlighted as a major concern. Meanwhile, suppliers' delivery time lengthened in September 2021. Services PMI entered the growth territory, reporting an index value of 52.2 in September 2021, following the DRP observed in August 2021. This was underpinned by the increases in new businesses, backlogs of work, and expectations for activity sub-indices. New businesses increased in September compared to the previous month, mainly with improvements observed in transportation, solely related to freight forwarding, financial services, education and telecommunication subsectors. Business activities in transportation, solely driven by freight forwarding, education and insurance subsectors, showed improvements during September. However, business activities in other personal activities, wholesale and retail trade, human health activities and accommodation, food and beverage subsectors were largely affected due to the quarantine curfew imposed throughout the month. As such, the business activity sub-index edged up in September, yet continued to remain below the threshold level. The employment sub-index continued to remain in the negative territory, with retirements and voluntary resignations amid comparatively low level of new recruitments. Meanwhile, backlogs of work continued to increase in September since a limited staff reported to work amid prolonged travel restrictions and COVID-19 infection among staff members. The Financial System Stability Consultative Committee has been reconstituted by the Central Bank of Ceylon with eminent personnel in the financial sector with effect from 6th of October 2021. Dr. Kenneth De Silva, Chairman of Lanka Clear Private Limited, has been appointed as the Chairperson of the FSSCC. Further, Niroshan Udage, President of the Finance Houses Association of Sri Lanka, C.N. Anthony, Director General Manager of the Credit Information Bureau, L.H.L. Lakshman Silva, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Bank Association Limited, Sujiva Mudalige, Managing Partner of the PricewaterhouseCoopers, Sanjay Bandara, Vice President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, Vish Govindasamy, Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Kushandi Alves, President Council, Salia Vikramasuriya, Acting Director General of the Colombo Port City Economic Commission, Kapila Jayawardena, Group Managing Director of LOLC Holdings PLC, and Krishan Balendran, Chairman of John Gills Holdings PLC, are members of the reconstituted FSSCC. The FSSCC is a high-level committee operational in the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, which has been established for the purpose of facilitating discussions leading to provide views and advice to assist the Central Bank on formulation of policies on financial system stability and financial sector development. The Macroprudential Surveillance Department of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka serves as the Secretariat of the FSSCC. The ambassador of the Czech Republic to Sri Lanka, Milan Hovorka, has paid a farewell call on Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires at the Foreign Ministry in Colombo. The Foreign Ministry stated in a press release that Minister Pires welcomed the visiting ambassador, who is resident in New Delhi, and underscored the close and cordial relations existing between Sri Lanka and the Czech Republic. Reciprocating the sentiments of the Foreign Minister, Ambassador Hovorka conveyed his deep appreciation for the strong support extended by the government of Sri Lanka in further consolidating cooperation between the two countries during his tenure as the Czech ambassador. The meeting entailed discussion on the potential for expansion of trade, investment and tourism ties between Sri Lanka and the Czech Republic. The release further mentioned that regional and multilateral issues of relevance were also discussed. The two sides agreed on the further expansion of bilateral cooperation in a manner suitable to contemporary requirements. The ambassador had also expressed his special appreciation for the assistance extended to Czech nationals in Sri Lanka during the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry said that an agreement on the transfer of sentenced persons was entered into between Sri Lanka and the Czech Republic during the visit. The meeting was attended by officials of the Foreign Ministry and the Honorary Consul of the Czech Republic in Sri Lanka. Stay tuned for more news after the short break.
Fiber samagin balakan වෙන තැන ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වේගවත්ම සහ පුළුල්ම ප්‍රීමියම් ෆයිබර් අන්තර්ජාලය SLT Mobitel Fiber දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය.
Preparing children with 21st century skill, public speaking and communication skills for children, accelerated reading program for kids, total development program for kids, personalized coaching for children, 21st Century Preschool Program, Global Virtual Preschool, Speaking, Reading and Science Club for Children, Sri Lanka's first ever student-centered learning center, Modern Learning Studio. Join us today.
SLT Mobitel Home Broadband within online learning සහ online working සඳහා ඇදහිය නොහැකි data දීමනා GB 30ක් රුපියල් 195යි GB 100ක් රුපියල් 490යි කාර්යාලයක් පාසලක් ගෙදරටම ගෙනෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සබඳතාවය SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබඳියාව.
Welcome back after the break. The interprovincial travel restrictions, which are currently in effect, are to be strictly imposed till the 21st of October. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed the security forces to closely and strictly monitor the vehicular movements at all provincial borders due to the long weekend, with holidays on the 19th and the 20th. The President made these remarks during the meeting of the Special Committee on COVID-19 Control, held through video conference on Friday morning. During the meeting, Health Service Director General Dr. Asela Gunawardana said the vaccination of school children aged 18 to 19 years in the Colombo district has commenced on Friday, and steps have been taken to vaccinate the children of this age group in other districts, at schools and at regional health offices from 21st of October. According to the health recommendations, 1 dose will be given to school children while 2 doses will be given to children with congenital diseases. After completing the vaccination of school children, arrangements have been made to administer a booster shot according to health recommendations. An additional 600,000 Pfizer vaccine doses are scheduled to arrive today, and the already ordered vaccines are being received without any interruption, stated Dr. Prasanna Gunasena, a member of the COVID committee. The President pointed out the need to study the measures that should be taken to further reduce the number of COVID-19 deaths and the need to further isolate the relevant areas where patients are being reported. High Commissioner of Malaysia to Colombo, Thang Yang Thai, paid a courtesy call on Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires at the Foreign Ministry on the 14th of October 2021. During the meeting, the Malaysian High Commissioner and Minister Pires discussed further avenues where the two countries could enhance cooperation, especially in the post-COVID-19 era. Stating Sri Lanka was among the first to recognise Malaysia's independence back in 1957, High Commissioner Thanyang Thai expressed a strong desire to reenact partnerships in several areas, including the restoration of air connectivity between Sri Lanka and Malaysia to its fullest capacity and facilitate strong people-to-people interaction between the two countries. Foreign Minister Peiris, underlining the strong bilateral partnership between the two countries, emphasised the need for further collaboration in the areas that are beneficial to both countries. Minister Peiris highly commended the enormous progress that Malaysia has recorded in the field of digitalisation. He identified digitalisation an area that the government intends to achieve rapid progress over several key areas in the public sector, including administration, court proceedings, education, health, etc. The minister expressed Sri Lanka's desire to look at the experiences of Malaysia in this field and adopt certain aspects as per the needs of the country. Stay tuned for more news after the short break.
SLT Mobitel home broadband within online learning සහ online working සඳහා ඇදහිය නොහැකි data දීමනා GB 30ක් රුපියල් 195යි GB 100ක් රුපියල් 490යි කාර්යාලයක් පාසලක් ගෙදරටම ගෙනෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සබඳතාවය SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබඳියාව.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained by 85.33 points to close at 9,709.14 and the S&P SL 20 gained by 6.84 points to close at 3,553.45. The turnover was 2.7 billion rupees and over 159 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all we have for you today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
State of Business was sponsored by
SLT Mobitel home broadband online learning සහ working data දීමනා SLT Mobitel.
IWS Aviation.